Hello guys, today in this tutorial we will see how to remove the interpenetrations from the geometry. So geometry interpenetrations can cause big challenges in CFX workflow, especially with the cloth, hair and fur. So in this tutorial I will show you a simple and effective way to identify and fix interpenetration issues in Houdini. So this will ensure smoother simulation and better result for your character. So you can see I have one model here. I will show you. So this was my model, and you can see these legs are going in between the geometries and the hip also. So if I simulate cloth on this geometry, this area will get exploded because there is no space left to settle down the cloth. So to fix and create some gap in between the geometry, I have this subnetwork. So as you can see, this won't change the rest of the thing. It will only affect where we have penetrations. So as you can see, it will create a nice uh, enough gap so the cloth will get settled down. This is a very effective way. So let's dive into Houdini and see how to create this. As you can see on my screen, I have already imported my model, and this is like this. It will go to original shape and then it will jump. So this animation was downloaded from Mixamo. You can download it from there, and now you can see it have some interpenetrations. So let's create a workflow which will fix all these things. So first you need to take a for loop with feedback, and here you have to make a duplicate of the repeat begin node. Let's make a duplicate and add it here. Now let's add a null node here. We will name this as in geo. This will be for the collision. If you want to add external collision like pole or something else, then you can add it here, or else for our case we are just removing penetrations from the self. So I have connected this to here. Now you can take a polyfill node here. Let's connect it here, and here we will choose single polygon. Now we will take a VDB from polygon node, and here we have to create a nice high res VDB. So in my case this will be enough. Now we will take a attribute wrangle node here, and we have to write few codes. This code will be volume sampling. So here vector sample p is equal to @normal multiply by, here we will create a channel reference, and we will write push, since we have to push our geometry based on the normal direction here, and again multiply. We will give a scale channel reference. Now let's click on this create spare parameter, and this will create our two parameters here. Now this will create a sample p vector, but this will not pass down here because we have not assigned this as a attribute. So to do this we will write v sample p is equal to sample p. Now let's take a float. Sample is equal to, we will use volume sample vex function. Volume sample, we have to take volume from the second input, so we are giving one value here, 0 @p plus sample p. So now here we will create one condition for the interpenetrations, which will be named as interp is equal to sample greater than 0 question mark 1 0. Now here we will create sample is equal to sample. Now if I click enter p, then you can see this will be like this. So to fix this, we have to increase the scale value to 1 and push amount to, let's keep it to 0.015. So now you can see this will add attributes where we have the collision. Now you can see we have all the gaps here. Now you can take a attribute blur node and we have to blur the interpenetrations value attribute, sorry. So we will write interp and we will blur by the 4 values. So now we will have a smooth blending here. Now let's create a normal, and here we have to take another attribute wrangle node, and on this wrangle we will push the geometry backward based on the normal direction. So to do that, we will write @p negative is equal to, this means it will push backward side, @n multiply by CHF push multiply by f enter p. This will be the value that how much we need to push, multiply by CHF scale. Now if I click on this spare parameter again, and I have to link this to this value, paste relative reference, copy parameter here, paste relative reference. Now you can see this have been like it have moved the geometry little bit. Since we are using feedback with loop, so here we have 10 iterations. So now this will iterate over 10 times and it will create a gap and on all the iterations. So here if I click, so now this will create lots of gaps. So we will reduce the iteration value to around 4. Now you can see we have a much better gap, but this is not what we wanted. So to fix this, let's take a attribute blur node here, and here we will blur the position based on the weight attribute, and our weight attribute will be the same interpenetrations. This will goes to 4. Now if I visualize this, now you can see we have a nice cleaner gap as compared to the old one, but we have few issues on the face, but this won't create any issues. But still, to fix this, we will take this here, take a attribute paint node, will paint this head area, and I will take a point mix node here. So if you if you don't have this node, you can download it from the qlib package. I will give the link in the description. This point mix use the love function to blend the value linearly. So here on the control attribute, we will select marks and we will turn on the invert. So now this will only blend this area and it will create a nice gap. You can also paint all this area like foot area, foot, blend those area back to the original geometry. Now you can see this area are not being affected, only this is affecting this area, and this will create a constant gap between the whole timeline. In this way you can create gap in the geometry to simulate hair, cloth and fur properly, instead of waiting from the animation guy to fix it. So if you like this tutorial, then please like and subscribe to my channel, and you can also support me on Patreon so that I can keep bringing this kind of awesome tutorials for you. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next tutorial.